So Chris, 7 years in September you've been with us now?
Yep.
That's crazy. I mean, I still remember when you reached out to Lauren and cold called her on a Monday night trying to sell her Cutco knives.
Yep.
And I'm like, who are you talking to over there? And she's like, he's trying to sell me Cutco knives. And I'm like, dang, he's got the ability to call on a Monday night like that. I was like, tell him to come to my office. That's such a crazy story.
Yeah.
You ended up coming to my office and we chatted.
Yeah, I tried to sell you on knives.
Yeah, you did. I mean, you did a good job. You were kind of reading off a script, though, if I remember.
Yeah, definitely was still in training. Didn't sell you any knives to you.
No. I gave you a couple tips. I wasn't really in the knife market at the time, and those Cutco knives aren't cheap. But I remember I said, man, gave you a couple things, and I told you about some handwritten notes, and I said, if you appreciated this meeting, a handwritten note would go a long way. And what'd you do?
I think you told me once I stopped playing games around there, because I was in that little internship, to write you a handwritten note. And that's exactly what I did. Wrote you a handwritten note. We set up a meeting and got to see the office that we're in right now. And
that's right.
Not how it looks today.
Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, you came in right in the mix of it. And I was in the middle of, my team was being restructured at the time. So we were really a skeleton crew at the time. And I remember when I got that card in the mail, I'm like, okay, let's meet. And so you were 19.
Yeah, 19.
Not licensed, didn't really know anything about houses, really much about real estate in general.
Yeah, I really stepped into the office. I think the best training you had was you just got to do it. Yeah. You just got to put yourself out there and talk about homes. And then that's how you learn. And same thing with contracts. A lot of new agents, I have some friends, they ask me, how do you write a contract? You just got to do it. You got to be wrong. And that's the only way you can learn.
Yeah. I mean, you were around a lot of deals, a lot more than most, I would say, kind of early on, but you started at the bottom. I mean, you were installing signs, lock boxes, anything that we could do that was unlicensed. And then you started helping me run comps and scheduling showings and looking at reports, meet this trade over there. But you were seeing deals and participating in, on the sidelines a little bit, but you were always watching.
Yeah, so. A ton of knowledge like early on. And that's what I'm probably most thankful for.
Well, and I mean, look, mentorship is number one. I mean, that's something that I've always said, like every time I come across somebody that I can, get something from that, I don't know or they're an expert in. I mean, it's a wealth of knowledge. And so I'm proud of you. I want to say that because you stuck with it. You went through a lot of stuff with me. And you definitely, you just took it and you moved. Like a lot of people, I feel like they don't get after it. They come up with excuses instead of looking themselves in the mirror and saying, why is this not working out for me? So definitely good job, man. I'm really happy you're on a team with us. 7 years is a long time.
Yeah, 7 years.
And now you're doing your thing. You're working with buyers and sellers. And so tell us a little bit about some of that.
About buyers and sellers.
Yeah.
I would say my favorite to work with is buyers.
Yeah.
Just because I like that story of why they are moving into a home.
Yeah.
Like the reason behind it. I feel like whenever you are working with sellers, you got to be a little bit more stern, a little bit more of aggressive, telling them what is wrong with the house, what they have to do with the house. A lot less of a personal relation to them instead of finding out their why. Which you can still find out their why. Sellers, they're moving for different reasons, but I just feel like there's more of a sentimental value whenever you're working with buyers.
And in this season of your business, you're working with more buyers and sellers.
Yeah, definitely.
And I would say too, it is a special thing to be a part of such big life changes that happen. Whenever someone's buying a house, because first time home buyers, most of the time they just got married, or they about to expect their first child, and so they're really starting to settle down, and you get to be a part of that journey and help them through everything. So that's really cool. What would you say is your number one advice to a buyer that's looking right now in this market?
My number one biggest advice would be nothing's off the table.
Yeah.
Negotiating is probably top tier in this moment of time. We're able to ask for things that we haven't been able to ask for in the past 4 years probably.
Yeah.
Sales prices, I would say we've been more aggressive. I'm going below sales price, which is nice, and then also getting sellers concessions on the front end.
Yeah.
I'm having a lot of conversations with buyers with sellers concessions to use on their buy down for their rate.
Yeah.
Which is great to use.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah. It's a unique time in the market. The last, we're approaching 4 years of rates being where they are. We saw them dip, at the beginning of the year. Really saw an uptick in buyer applications. A lot of people were definitely waking up. They're still there on the sidelines. Rates popped up a little bit. But I would argue that we are optimistic about rates over the next 12 to 18 months. And there's a lot of good opportunity out there right now ahead of the crowd. And, buying a house is it can never have perfect timing, but there's a good time to buy and there's also a good time to sell. And so I would say right now, buyers definitely have the upper hand. Certain markets are different than others, but tell us one other thing. What's some stuff that, hobbies that you're into just a little bit more?
Well, of course, if people, keep up with me, I'm into volleyball.
Yeah.
A little bit into golf. But other than that, that's really my two hobbies right now that are rocking and rolling.
Yeah.
Just being outside is probably my favorite thing to do.
Yeah.
Getting a good tan,
Yeah.
summer heat's coming. But yeah, and I'm picking up fishing now. I am picking up fishing a lot more. I would say salt water is a lot more easier than fresh water.
Yeah.
Just with fresh water, I just feel like you got to fiddle a little bit more.
You got to have one of those really big screens when you're freshwater, like you just see all the fish and you just drop the lure right on their nose.
Yeah.
Salt water is definitely a little more fish out there, I feel like, to catch.
Yeah.
If you got the right guide.
Yeah. I know you mentioned whenever I first started, I think I'll tell a funny memory, but I think I was around, when I came on, I was 19, right?
Yeah.
So probably the following year, whenever I hit 20, I wasn't allowed to drink. But I think you asked me to go check on a house, and that was my first time running into a squatter. That was funny. That was a good memory of mine.
Kind of blows your mind a little bit, doesn't it? You're like, wow, this person's legit trying to just live in this house they don't own.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, and it's just, you got to have some cojones to go in there.
And it definitely catches you off guard when you think the house is vacant and you walk in and, that can go a lot of different ways and be a pretty dangerous situation, too.
It is. Yeah, it is.
We've had our fair share of squatters. So.
Oh, yeah. Gotta love them.
Yeah.
Keep us entertained.
Well, I definitely enjoy watching the videos you slamming volleyballs. That's always, I can't jump that high, so I envy you there. So, but Chris, I'm really happy that you're with us. I'm excited about your future with us, and you're going to do big things, dude. So keep it up.
Yeah, thank you.